kept my head low and never let go.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. I sure as hell do love this job. I hope that comes across in the content. We really enjoy doing this because it's a challenge, and it's a challenge because you have to learn something new every single day. Sometimes there's a news story that sort of comes across. We really want to do it, goes super viral, and you got to do some research. And I learned a little bit today, and maybe you can learn along with me. I didn't know much about the country of Guyana. And Guyana is a country. Do you even know what continent Guyana is? I didn't. Okay, I'm kind of admitting my own ignorance here, but it's in South America. Okay, it's right there, very tip top of South America, borders Venezuela. Guyana looks like a really nice country, right? Here, oh look, that's pretty. Okay, great. Pop over here, see some images of Guyana. Got some waterfalls here. Got some beautiful mountains, right? Gorgeous waterfalls, marketplaces, nice little buildings. This is what the flag looks like. Again, it looks like a beautiful, nice, relatively peaceful place, presumably. Okay, look at that. Jeez, that's just gorgeous. So Guyana seems to be a, I don't know, totally reasonable, nice little place to live. If you look at the recent news articles about Guyana, you'll see that there's some oil exploration that's happening off of its coasts. And that's leading, of course, to libs heading to Guyana, masquerading as reporters, activists, and wishing to do interviews with the president of Guyana because, well, he's allowing for big bad oil to be created and explored in his country, which would provide for very good things for his country, right? Cheap energy is actually the cornerstone of how any economy gets built. And if the president of Guyana wants to raise the people out of, poverty or up to the next economic level, well, cheap available energy that you don't have to import is probably a great way to do that. There's a BBC reporter, though, who went to Guyana to lecture the president about climate change. A video of Guyana's president snapping back at BBC reporters' climate change quiz goes viral. Let me stop you. The man in the video, his name is Mohammed Afran Ali, blasting BBC reporter for trying to lecture him about climate change. In an interview with the BBC, journalist Stephen Sakur, world leader, rejected the reporter's insinuation that the country will be contributing to climate change by allowing oil extradition off its coasts. Now, the photos of the beautiful waterfall and the trees and the forests, keep that in mind as you watch this remarkable clip.
Take a big picture look at what's going on here. Over the next decade, 2 decades, it is expected that there will be $150 billion worth of oil and gas extracted off your coast. It's an extraordinary figure, but think of it in practical terms. That means, according to many experts, more than 2 billion tons of carbon emissions will come from your seabed, from those reserves, and be released into the atmosphere. I don't know if you as a head of state went to the COP in Dubai.
Let me stop you right there. Do you know that Guyana has a forest forever that is the size of England and Scotland combined? A forest that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon, a forest that we have kept alive, a forest that we have kept alive.
Does that give you the right? Does that give you the right to release all of this carbon?
Does that give you the right to lecture us on climate change? I am going to lecture you on climate change because we have kept this forest alive that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon that you enjoy, that the world enjoy, that you don't pay us for, that you don't value, that you don't see a value in, that the people of Guyana has kept alive. Guess what? We have the lowest deforestation rate in the world. And guess what? Even with our greatest exploration of the oil and gas resource we have now, we will still be net zero. Guyana will still be net zero. With all our exploration,
couple of points.
Still be net zero.
Powerful words, Mr. President. But
I am not completed as yet. I am not finished as yet. I am just not finished as yet. Because this is the hypocrisy that exists in the world. The world in the last 50 years has lost 65% of all its biodiversity. We have kept our biodiversity. Are you valuing it? Are you ready to pay for it? When is the developed world going to pay for it? Or are you in the pockets? Are you in the pockets of those who have damaged the environment? Are you in the pockets? Are you and your system in the pockets of those who destroyed the environment through the Industrial Revolution and now lecturing us? Are you in their pockets? Are you paid by them? Are you paid to keep their message?
Hell yes. Into my veins. More of that. Base leaders around the world saying F you to the globalist cult, to these limp-wristed soy bitches who sit there and preen and sneer at a developing nation, Guyana, who doesn't have that great of a GDP, just trying to like make it in the world, trying to do the best for his people. Trying to provide cheap energy, which again is the backbone of any modern society, being able to have cheap, affordable, accessible energy. That's how you build a modern economy. If you don't have it, then you will be a slave economy. If you don't have it, then you will be subservient to other countries that do. Every great nation on earth has access to cheap, available energy and can grow and advance their economy from that. So this president wanting to develop that for his country is a good and noble thing. And this reporter sitting there saying, oh, well, the British Empire did. I'm from England. The British Empire raped and pillaged all of its forest, all of its natural resources for thousands of years. But now I'm going to sneer and I'm going to lecture you for doing that from my spot inside of the crumbled, destroyed British Empire that used to be a great world power, and I'm going to sit there and press on you because you wish to also provide independence for your people. Man, good for him. Sent this out this weekend. This is a most satisfying video on the internet right now. 13,000 retweets, 55,000 likes, 3 million views. Good for him, man. Good for this. Good for this president. You are seeing sort of this rejection of wokeness and globalism and the sneering, preening, virtue signaling all around the globe. This is the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, campaigning with a chainsaw because he wished to cut the spending of the government, which was out of control in Argentina. Here he is in Argentina, not too far from Guyana, smashing, on the same continent at least, smashing the central bank with like a piñata, saying that we will end the parasitic class. Holy moly, did the guy ever do it? The man who is famous for ripping all of the stupid agencies that the government funded off the board, saying Ministry of Public Works, out, 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 out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is ending the parasitic political class. Milei to cut 70,000 state jobs after boasting of chainsaw austerity. Government plans to fire 70,000 workers. Milei delivered remarks to a business event in Buenos Aires. Ooh, yeah. Into my veins. We were taking a chainsaw strategy. We eliminated public works, which I'm proud of. Public works was a major source of corruption. We fired 50,000 public employees, and we will end with 70,000 government contracts. Into my veins. Just in, Argentine President Javier Milei plans to fire 70,000 government workers, according to Bloomberg. Oh, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, kind of sounds like somebody I know. As you watch Donald Trump surging in the polls, as you watch Donald Trump saying "make Argentina great again," which is what Trump's saying here, know that this is part of a movement, and this is a movement that actually has results. The Economist, after 100 brutal days, Javier Milei has the markets believing, saying that he's effectively fixed or is in the process of fixing and reversing all of the horrible shit that's been going on in Argentina. Argentina's economy contracted less than expected in January. Big time positive data for Argentina. Argentine markets in celebratory mood ahead of Easter. Argentina's markets are in celebration mood ahead of a long Easter public holiday with sovereign bonds and equities. Prolonged rally buoyed by the fiscal tightening pro-investor measures taken by Libertarian President Javier Milei. Holy moly. Let's move around the continent of South America to El Salvador, where El Salvador's president, Bukele, is going on a rampage against globalists, going on a rampage against George Soros. Who elected Soros to dictate public policy or laws? Why does he feel entitled to impose his agenda? He and his cronies hit back a brick wall in El Salvador. Incredible stuff. This is exactly what happened with the Guyana president. Have a listen.
They don't have a democratic mandate. If they want a seat in the table, they should run for office. Let the people vote. It will not be a pretty sight for them if the elections are free and fair. I mean, who elected Soros to dictate public policy and laws? Why does he feel entitled to impose his agenda? Let me tell you something. Soros and his cronies hit a brick wall in El Salvador. Thank God, and all the glory be to him, Salvadorans are now immune to his influence. No one believes his lies anymore over there.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that our movement is on the rise. Our movement is ascendant. Their movement is in survival mode. They're clinging on for dear life. President Bukele, a democracy needs a free press. Don't call yourself a journalist if you are just an activist. Yep. Correct. God, reminds you of Trump, right? And look at this. Boy, it looks like the data is on his side. Statistics just published the murder rate for Latin America, placing El Salvador at the lowest on the chart. Spoiler alert, the murder rate for 2024 is trending even lower. El Salvador, down there, homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. You know, Jamaica, Ecuador, Haiti, Trinidad, Tobago, all these places are just, look, Mexico is really dangerous. Brazil's on there, obviously. Puerto Rico, not great. And then you have El Salvador, 2. What is it for America? Probably safer to live in El Salvador than America. Bukele hard on crime approach seems to be turning El Salvador around. Homicides, less people getting murdered is a good thing. Yeah, look at that. Look at the homicide numbers. Look at that. Incredible. Amazing. And it's happening all around the world. The Prime Minister of Italy, some people are disappointed in, but the Prime Minister of Italy, like Giorgia Meloni, is center-right and has some really incredible thoughts on the family. And that's something Italy is in desperate need of as they are facing a massive population collapse. Hopefully she can turn the country around without just importing people that destroy, that make the place more dangerous and destroy the culture. Ladies and gentlemen, Giorgia Meloni talking about what it means to actually be an Italian. This is nationalism. Have a listen.
Potrei farne tante altre di queste domande. A monte c'è quella che ci facciamo oggi: perché la famiglia è un nemico? Perché la famiglia fa così paura? C'è una risposta unica per tutte queste domande. Perché ci definisce, perché è la nostra identità. Perché tutto quello che ci definisce in questo tempo è un nemico. Per chi vorrebbe che non avessimo più un'identità e che fossimo solamente schiavi, consumatori perfetti. E allora è sotto attacco l'identità nazionale, è sotto attacco l'identità religiosa, è sotto attacco l'identità di genere, è sotto attacco l'identità familiare. Non devo potermi definire italiana, cristiana, donna, madre, no. Io devo essere cittadino X, genere X, genitore 1, genitore 2, devo essere un numero. Perché quando sarò solamente un numero, quando non avrò più un'identità, quando non avrò più radici, beh, allora sarò lo schiavo perfetto in balia della grande speculazione finanziaria, il consumatore perfetto. E questa è la ragione per la quale oggi noi facciamo tanta paura. Questa è la ragione per la quale oggi questo appuntamento fa tanta paura. Perché noi non vogliamo essere dei numeri, noi siamo qui per dire che noi non siamo dei numeri, noi difenderemo il valore della persona umana, di ogni singola persona umana, perché ognuno di noi ha un codice genetico unico e irripetibile. E questo, piaccia o no, ha del sacro. Lo difenderemo, difenderemo Dio, la patria e la famiglia, che fanno tanto schifo a qualcuno. Lo faremo per difendere la nostra libertà, perché noi non saremo mai schiavi e semplici consumatori in balia della speculazione finanziaria. Ecco la nostra missione, ecco perché oggi sono venuta qui. Scriveva Chesterton ormai più di un secolo fa, vediamo se ve lo trovo, fuochi verranno attizzati per dimostrare che 2 più 2 fa 4, spade verranno sguainate per dimostrare che le foglie sono verdi in estate. Quel tempo è arrivato, signori, siamo pronti. Grazie.
Geert Wilders is the prime minister of the Netherlands, and he is like an absolute dynamo, talking about how these climate cultists are effectively just trying to destroy farming so that they can get power over everyone by controlling what they eat. In Canada, Trudeau's Liberals are on pace to effectively become the third most powerful party. They're going to get destroyed by the Conservatives whenever they call the election. We'll see. They're holding off as long as humanly possible to try and not call the election. This is how that election would go right now. Blue is Conservative in Canada. Conservative is going to get 100 extra seats based on polling. Wild, ladies and gentlemen. Just dominant. So we are ascending. And it's so inspiring to see. And the whole world is going to see that populism is popular, defending your nation, having an open and free economy, and being protectors of your own people. That is what being a populist means. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the march. We can save this place. Make Guyana great again. Good for you, based president of Guyana. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.